Greetings. Today I'd like to tell you a story from when I was 7 years old. We had an aunt called Aunt Rizina, a very sweet lady. And when I was young, we called her Sister Rosina, which we are not supposed to because she's a lot older than we are. I was just 7 years old. And she didn't like it, but all of a sudden we started calling her Auntie Rosina without knowing it. And it bothered me because I used to call her Sister Rosina, and I'm calling her Auntie Rosina. No one sat me down to tell me, don't call her this or call her that. The change just happened automatically. So I decided to do some thinking into why this happened to me and my siblings. And I realized I called her Sister Rosina because my mom calls her Sister Rosina. And my mom thought it wise not to tell me how to call her, but instead started calling her Auntie Rosina. And we followed suit. That is the power of parents. Today I want to talk about something very important. Probably the most important thing I'll ever talk about. This is to say, we grew up to a system that already existed. Even when that system changed, we were still young enough to adapt, but not old enough to judge the system. Parents have the wisdom to bite bones out of an egg. Parents have the power to bring down heaven on earth. The spiritual world to the physical. I had a vision, and in this vision I saw a woman. This woman was dancing. She was happy. She was in a higher self. She was beautiful. She had a family and they had a child. The man was in his higher self, his higher being. He was beautiful. And they trained that child in their higher selves. And that child will grow to become a physical representation of his parents' vision of themselves. Thus, the parents have just brought the spiritual world into the physical. And the children will soon realize their higher self and evolve. We need to send the world to a different space, to a beautiful place, when we are all in our higher selves. To do this, we have to change the stories. In the past, grandmothers and grandfathers used to tell us this thing we used to call Anansi stories. There are stories of a spider, there are stories of God, there are stories of heroes, there are stories of demons and angels, there are stories that bring us wisdom. There are stories that bring us knowledge, hope, and answer stories. And when these stories are told to the children see grandpa and grandma as gods. They see their parents as gods and goddesses, as kings and queens, because it's from them knowledge comes. It's from them knowledge comes in stories. It is from their parents they learn how to survive in the world. This power has been taken away from parents. This power has been taken away from grandfathers and grandmothers, and it's been given to the media. It's been given to the movies. It's been given to Hollywood. And instead of children listening to their parents and grandparents and grandfathers and grandmothers, they watch television. It teaches them nonsense. It teaches them hate. It teaches them envy. It teaches them war. It teaches them pride. This is the problem with our world. The media has become God. And the parents need to rise up. We need to see more good in this world to raise the vibration. This is how we do it. This is the only way. This is how we do it. This is how we move to the next step. This is how we evolve. This is how we love one another. This is how we love our neighbor.